So I hear that Tesla my Tesla, should do share buybacks because there's nothing smarter for a growing company than to take their cash and buy back shares. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. My name is Christopher Belli. I'm a certified CPA accountant. I'm a fake boglehead investor. I'm author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. And we got to talk about a video that I watched from Solving the Money Problem. If you don't know who this guy is, he's a guy that has 100% of his portfolio in Tesla. He's a perma bull, and he has this like DCF that's hidden behind a paywall where he charges people to access his Patreon so they can see some clownish DCF or, you know, projection or whatever he freaking has in there that probably shows Tesla stock being like $10,000 a share after after 5 or 10 years. It's a complete scam. Anyway, I was watching this guy's videos because I like to keep tabs on him, because I've noticed with him, no matter what happens to Tesla, no matter what the market thinks, no matter what professionals, you know, project Tesla sales and revenue to be, or earnings, this guy, Steve Mark Ryan, seems to just know something that everybody else doesn't. He's kind of like the god of retail, the god of like panty sniffing retail, that thinks they're so freaking smart that they just know more than Wall Street. Yes, Steve, you know so much more. You know, it's almost like a cult. But anyway, in his video, one of his more recent videos, he talked about a poll he did on his Twitter page, because, you know, we got to trust Twitter polls. They're very important. They're very impactful. And in this poll, he asked people if Tesla should start doing share buybacks. And it looks like 80% of the people that responded, either yes or no, said yes, of course, just do share buybacks, bro. Well, let's think about that, okay? Tesla is still an immature company. It's a very immature company. It's definitely grown massively, and it's established itself, and it's profitable, and it's got great cash flows for now. That's great, okay? You know, you can't knock some of the achievements of Clown Elon, even though he's still a grifting clown. But Tesla, you know, when you compare it to other auto companies, it's a very, very, very immature company. And it has a lot of room to grow. And people who are valuing Tesla at such exorbitant, you know, future prices, they're factoring in massive revenue growth and massive changes in massive increases in earnings and free cash flow. That's what they're doing. And I suspect a lot of people are literally saying that Tesla is going to grow revenues 50% year over year. And if you put that assumption into a model, you get some insane valuations for Tesla. I've done it, okay? But I challenge the assumption. Anyway, let's talk about share buybacks. If Tesla is still trying to grow and take over the auto industry, why would they use their cash to buy back shares of stock? That makes absolutely no sense to me. If you're a growing company and you have a bunch of cash, you should probably use that to, I don't know, make more factories. Especially if you consider that old Clown Elon is now pumping this freaking stupid Optimus robot. Optimus, it's the future, bro. It's gonna be 20K. If you want to, you know, start mass producing robots, that's going to take a lot of capital expenditures. You're going to have to probably build a bunch of robot factories. So why would you take your cash off of the balance sheet when you have all these ambitious goals? You know, change the world, change the auto industry, take over the auto industry, build a freaking robot. I don't know, whatever other stupid plans Elon comes up with. Why would you use your cash to buy back shares of stock? Especially now when everybody that has a freaking, you know, brain cell that they can rub between two fingers, everybody knows Tesla's overvalued. Even now that it's collapsed to like, what is it, like 2 something? It's probably like $600 something pre-split. I think $600 something billion market cap right now. It's still a massive freaking bubble, okay? I'm telling you, it's for me, it's easy to see bubbles. I don't know why it's so hard for some people. But for me, it's like common sense. Like you look at what Tesla is. It's a luxury car company. It's currently all the rage and it's popular. And that's having a massive impact on sales right now and maybe in the next couple of quarters. But at some point, These cars, which are insanely expensive, nobody is going to be able to afford them. You know, the average person is not going to buy a Tesla. And I've never heard a good argument against that, okay? At some point, when they've tapped out the luxury auto market and they've captured their share of the luxury auto market, at some point, Tesla's revenue will massively decline. Well, it won't decline, but its growth rate will decline massively, because you can only sell so many cars if there's only a limited amount of buyers. And I get the counter. Well, okay, this is one counter argument I hear. Oh well, Tesla, it's they can lower prices, and yeah, they're not gonna lower freaking prices. I bet you their input costs are freaking insane for those cars. They're not going to lower prices. And if they do, well, guess what? There go your freaking amazing margins, and there go your earnings. So I keep cursing this morning. Your freaking thesis falls apart. Oh, it's going to have this much earnings and this much revenue in the future. Well, they cut prices, maybe not so much, okay? So Tesla, in my opinion, is still a massive bubble. I hope it collapses another 50, 60, 70%, because I want all the clowns on YouTube that think they were smart because they bought Tesla to just collapse. But anyway, back to share buybacks. So I've already told you that if you have a lot of cash on the balance sheet and you're a massively growing company and you have all these ambitious ideals, why would you use that for share buybacks? And on top of that, Tesla's overvalued, at least in my opinion. Why would Tesla be buying back shares now at such a lofty valuation when they can instead issue shares and raise more cash for future projects, okay? Because Tesla needs a lot of cash to achieve its goals. And this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the owners of Tesla to, have their company get way more cash from clowns that are willing to just scoop up shares no matter what, because a bunch of idiots on CNBC and YouTube say that Tesla's going to $100 trillion bazillion per share. This is not the time to buy back shares when the stock is overvalued. When the stock is undervalued, okay, you can buy back way more shares with the cash you have. You can reduce the outstanding shares at a much higher percentage if you're buying them back when they're cheap. But if you're buying back a bunch of shares when it's expensive, how many shares outstanding are they going to be able to buy back at these valuations? I don't know. So it seems to me that Stephen Mark Ryan, I don't think he's thinking for the long term. I think he just wants Tesla stock to go up, because he's probably a little bit worried that Tesla stock has basically stayed flat. I mean, it had that massive moon event after that stupid Hertz contract, in quotes. At some point in the future, we're going to sell $100,000 cars to Hertz. And the stock went up like, oh my God, the market cap went up at like 12, 13%. It was freaking nuts, like $100 billion. It was insane. Bubble. Oh, it's not a bubble though. But I think Steven is concerned because Tesla stayed flat, and his whole livelihood is contingent on telling you, basically, to go 100% Tesla and to pay him money so you can see his stupid DCF. I mean, I could do that. I can make up a DCF on any of your clown stocks and say it's going to $100 trillion and charge you freaking clowns money, and you'd probably freaking pay me, okay? But, Steven really, thought about the future, and Tesla has a lot of, cash on the balance sheet. Save it for your freaking projects. Park in some short-term investments, and then when you have a massive project, like you want to make, the robot factory, use it for that. All right, guys, that's it. I don't know, Tesla, until they start lowering their revenue guidance, the stock isn't going to really, truly collapse. It's just going to stay up there. It's going to fluctuate massively, and you clowns are going to keep buying the dip because that's always worked before. Tesla goes down, you buy the dip, and it goes back up. And then once it goes back up, you sell it, and then it goes down again, and then you buy the dip. And you clowns are just going to keep freaking doing that. And I think at some point, a lot of you are going to get your cheeks clapped when some kind of growth limit actually hits Tesla. But, I'm sure there's just, millions and billions more people out there that can afford Teslas, and they're just lining up. But, you know, you clowns are too focused on the short term. My argument isn't that Tesla is going to, like, you know, potentially miss their sales goals in the next couple quarters. They might blow them out of the water. But at some point, it is inevitable. Tesla cannot sell to people if those people don't exist and they can't afford the cars. Oh, but the Inflation Reduction Act. Even then, it's still freaking expensive. All right, guys, that's it. Share buybacks are stupid for now for Tesla. It doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. You guys can give me your opinions. I'm sure they're well informed. Cheers.